Have you ever found yourself extremely irritated, replaying a conversation in your head for hours, or letting yourself be affected by other people's actions, even when they were completely out of your control? Well, who hasn't, right? But what you may not have realized yet is that there is a much lighter and smarter way to deal with these situations without being carried away by anger or discomfort. So let's talk about that. Come with me. The first thing you need to understand is this: your reaction is a choice. That's right. To begin with, anger does not come from what happens to you. It comes from how you interpret what happened, and there's more. After the anger shows up, everyone still gets to choose how they will respond. In other words, you decide whether a poorly chosen comment will ruin your day or simply pass by without power over you. Psychiatrist Viktor Frankl said that this freedom of choice is the last of human freedoms. Everyone has it, and it can be yours. You just need to train your mind to stop reacting automatically and start responding with awareness. So that's the first point. Your reaction is a choice. Understand that. Second point, know what to expect from people. Yes, because one of the biggest triggers of frustration is expecting others to have the same level of awareness, education, or sensitivity that you have. People are not a reflection of you. They act according to their own stories, their own traumas, and their own limitations. And the theory of mind reminds us that each person has a unique perspective on life. When you truly understand this, you stop personalizing other people's behavior. You realize it's not about you. It's about them, about what's going on inside them, and that alone brings an enormous sense of lightness. Third point, you make mistakes too. Notice how the constant need to be right, to correct others, to win arguments may feel like self-affirmation. But in the end, it exhausts you, isolates you, and feeds anger in you and in others. Studies on cognitive egocentrism show that insisting on being right is often a defense of pride and arrogance. But arrogance doesn't need to be fed. It needs to be educated. Sometimes real strength is choosing peace even when you are right. Sometimes it's enough for your conscience to be calm. Another important point, your self-worth should be an internal value, not a currency exchanged for other people's approval. When someone criticizes or offends you, it's natural to feel shaken. But according to self-determination theory, true motivation and true self-esteem come from within. They come from autonomy, from competence, from a real sense of belonging, not from external validation. Learning to validate yourself, to recognize your own worth, that is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself, because no one has the power to define you. Only you do. It's also essential to learn how to set boundaries. Being a good person does not mean being available all the time. Creating clear limits is a form of emotional self-care. Positive psychology shows that people who can say no assertively tend to experience more well-being and less stress. Setting boundaries is not about pushing people away. It's about drawing a line and making it clear how far others are allowed to go without disrespecting you. And when you respect yourself, others learn to respect you too. 6th point. Living based on other people's opinions is like driving a car while looking only at the rearview mirror. It's exhausting, it's confusing, and it takes you off your path. Humanistic psychology, especially Carl Rogers' work, emphasizes the importance of inner congruence. That means living according to who you truly are, not who others expect you to be. When you free yourself from that weight, you gain something priceless, emotional freedom. And then you discover something powerful. The best part about not caring so much about being judged is that you also stop judging others. You give people the same freedom you claim for yourself, and you know that saying, "Silence is golden," It's true. You don't need to react to everything, because not everything deserves a response. Silence is often more powerful than 1,000 words. It disarms, it unsettles, and it preserves your energy. Neuroscience shows that when we react with anger, we activate the limbic system, the most primitive part of the brain, associated with fight or flight. But when we pause, take a deep breath, and choose silence, we activate the areas responsible for self-regulation and decision-making. In other words, responding with silence is a sign of strength, not weakness. There's also gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's working. Psychologist Robert Emmons shows that practicing gratitude regularly reduces aggression, stress, and anxiety, and improves sleep and overall well-being. When you focus on what's working instead of what bothers you, your mind rewires itself. It's like changing the lenses through which you see the world. Ninth point, grow from criticism. Yes, criticism can hurt, but not every criticism is an attack. Sometimes, behind harsh words, there's a blind spot that needs your attention. Carol Dweck's growth mindset theory teaches that people who see criticism as learning grow more and experience less stress. That doesn't mean accepting insults. It means filtering what's useful and discarding what isn't. And finally comes the art of letting go. Holding on to resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Constant anger poisons your body and your mind. Forgiveness, even if no one ever knows you forgave, reduces cortisol levels and promotes cardiovascular health. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting, and it doesn't mean pretending it didn't hurt. It means choosing your peace. It means freeing yourself to live the present with more lightness and more focus. You don't have to be a hostage to anger, frustration, or other people's opinions. All of this can be trained like a muscle. And the more you practice, the stronger you become. Your peace is worth more than any argument or any criticism. Learn to protect yourself emotionally. Respond with awareness. Validate yourself from within. Life changes when you change the way you respond to it. A kiss to your heart, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.